forget it's a hot mic over here, so don't get crazy with the conversations, okay?
Yes, you
I
guys
don't
know
want
you're
you.
surrounded.
I don't want you to feel like I did it on purpose, okay?
I mean, you can say whatever you want.
We're just looking at a very cute cat here.
Just don't say any social security numbers.
Oh, well, mine is she's like, no, you're not allowed. Oh, she is gorgeous. She's a very pretty cat. How long did you have her? Oh, okay. So not super long. Did you get her from like a shelter or from?
No, my roommate was from.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she doesn't like you don't have an electric grab. Interesting. I wonder if like I know it's it really is. Normally I don't notice it that much, but it's so warm outside today that it's like I don't because I only started coming around in like October. This is I think the first one I went to where it's gonna get warm weather outside. Yeah, it's definitely good to have yeah, that'd be interesting. Oh, okay, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? The public has the right to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Thank you. The public has the right to be present in public meetings, except executive session, as defined by the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Each Harvey public meeting affords members of the public to submit written statements or make brief public comments during the public comment part of the meeting. However, persons in attendance are not allowed to act in an unreasonable manner that alarms or disturbs another or provokes a breach of the peace. This can include making loud or unusual noises, clapping, speaking out, or interrupting during the city council meeting. One may not impede the performance of an official duty. If any person acts in a disorderly manner at a public meeting and persists in being warned, the mayor as the chairman can order the person to withdraw or be removed from the meeting. If the person refuses, they can be removed and fined under the disorderly conduct statute. Disorderly conduct at a public meeting in Illinois involves any unreasonable behavior that disturbs others or disrupts the meeting, and it is subject to removal and penalty if it persists after a warning. This also includes city employees as well as council members. Harvey police officers are present in public meetings to assist the chairman in preserving order. If any person is ordered to withdraw or leave the meeting by the chairman and refuses, that person can be cited and criminally charged with disorderly conduct. The Harvey Police Department can escort the person out of the building. If the person refuses to leave and physically resists the Harvey Police Department, that person can also be charged with resisting arrest. Under Illinois law, resisting arrest is defined as knowingly resisting or obstructing the performance of one known to be a peace officer, firefighter, or correctional institution employee. This constitutes a Class A misdemeanor. The statute requires that the act of resistance must involve some physical act that imposes an obstacle that may impede, hinder, interrupt, prevent, or delay the performance of one's official duties. Examples include going limp, wrestling, physically aiding a third party to law explicitly states that a person is not authorized to use force to resist an arrest by a known peace officer, even if the arrest is believed to be or is in fact unlawful. Resistance to even an unlawful arrest by a known officer is a violation of state statute. Thank you.
Good evening. I call this meeting to order.
Have everybody connect, please. One more time.
Is there a minister in the house? Anyone here, a minister? Would you please lead us in that location?
Lord, good Lord, we thank you for allowing us to come together one more time. We're praying that you would let this meeting go on in a way that is pleasing you and pleasing to the citizens of Harvey. We're praying, Lord, that each and every one of us do our job in a rightful manner, whatever that is. We're asking you, Lord, to let the Spirit guide us with everything we say, everything we do, and whatever we touch. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Everyone is here. There is no reason tonight to go into executive session, so, I am seeking approval for the minutes of February 23rd, 2026. Is there a motion?
Motion by the third, second by the sixth.
Any debate or questions? Hearing none. Okay, since I did not forego my seat as of today, I still have the right to vote as an alderperson, but I do not have a right to vote as the mayor. So I only get one vote. Motion passed. And that's why I'm not up there as of now. Okay, thank you. The treasurer report, Madam Treasurer, do you have anything that you would like to add? Yes or no?
Good evening, everyone. I'll be very brief. I would like to just bring the council's attention and the public's attention to our last resolution for the bank accounts was signed on May 16th of 2019, and I have suggested and requested, I'll repeat. Our last resolution for the bank accounts, or the signatories for the bank accounts was last put in place on May 16, 2019. Since then, we have had a few different changes in administration. So I have asked, suggested and requested that the council submit a new resolution updating those signatories. As of today, we have not done that, so from the treasurer's seat, that's all I'm requesting that we update that resolution, because right now, according to the resolution, we don't really have someone to sign those checks, according to the resolution. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Okay, I did receive your email, Madam Treasurer, and for the record, I was told, that it does not need to be a resolution, it's just like a promissory statement. But I will double check and verify. But I, sent you an email this afternoon regarding that. So thank you for your comments. Okay, approval for ordinances. We have a resolution authorizing the 2026 CDBG capital improvements for the economic development application. Now, this is a yearly program it's a grant, and the funds are for amount $500,000. And we're gonna utilize this for water repairs, but in order for us to do that, we need to seek council approval to apply for the grant. This does not mean that we are going to get the grant, it's just the first step in applying for the grant. So I'm seeking a motion to approve.
Motion by the third, second by the sixth.
Okay, we have a motion. Any questions or debate?
Yes, you just want to repeat the resolution, would you mind, Mayor Johnson?
The resolution authorizing 2026 CDBG capital gain improvement, demolition, and economic development project application. This resolution authorizes the city to request for 2026 program year CDBG funds in the amount of $500,000 for water main breaks.
Thank you. One of my questions with this, and I don't intend to go back, but using it as an example, regarding the Broadway Improvement Project, we had to have a forum ahead of time. Is this grant also requiring, in order to attain the grant, us to host a public forum to allow the public to be fully detailed on the happenings?
Not on this particular grant. This is a standard yearly grant that is provided, and we apply every year for it with a different goal set in mind. This particular one is to concentrate on the water main breaks. Okay, is there any other questions? Because that was one question. Does anyone else on the board have a question? Okay, is there another question? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. How are we identifying where specifically the water main breaks? So do we have a listing of, water main breaks that are most in need to less in need?
Rick, would you care to reply to that?
Main breaks occur on their own. They decide when they want to pop the break. Once we go down to the main break, we can see the shape or the condition of the piping to consider, like, for example, the one on Morgan, over 160 feet of piping that is corroded. So we find out when it occurs. There's nothing we can do to go check all the water main breaks through the city and determine, preventive breaks. It just happens when it happens, and then we determine once we get into digging it up and seeing what the lining of the pipe is, and then we determine.
Where did you say that be the first one we fixing?
The one on Morgan,
Okay, so that's the first one. What ward is that?
that's in,
Fifth ward, sorry.
no, not Star.
No. You're right.
We identified it as one of the major.
Right, now this is for, just to apply, the water mains that are breaking now, we are still in the process of working on them. So this is for future money in order, we know, just out of curiosity, how old are the water mains?
Like, they range from 45 years to 25 years, it all depends
It
on.
all depends. So when you see the bubbling up coming from your water on the street, that's a water main break. And then it's gonna explode. And we had a couple, within the first 2 weeks of, February that just exploded. So with that being said, this is for future funding. We can anticipate, we heard on the news numerous times with, water main breaks, and they hit at a horrible opportunity. But, okay, with that, that ends up, oh, you have a question? Alderman Keys?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one quick question. I know this is an application for us to apply to wait and see we receive the money, and God willing we do, because we sure need it. I just want to know the 500,000, how's it going to be broken down to where we can monitor that the $500,000 that we receive goes to water, you know, when they break, repair, you know, just simply like each 2 weeks. You know, we can't do everything at once, but at least be able to, every 2 weeks, be able to say, out of 500,000, we spent 100,000 in this area, just to make sure all the money goes to water main breaks.
Well, that would be in the ideal world, but this project, this grant has to be allocated for water main breaks. We may go that 2 weeks and not have a water main break. And so it's kind of like hindsight. If I know I'm gonna get a break, then it's gonna cost us maybe $100,000 to fix it. You know, we don't know that. We don't know that, but I am saying that this money for repair cannot be used to fix the lights on Halsted or on Halsted or Wood Street. That cannot be used to provide a furniture for the city. That has to be used for the actual water main. That's what that grant is.
Yeah, I got you, thank you. Well, I just want to make sure we have some process of monitoring, at least every, meeting we have on the financial committee, just to see how much we spent, how much we still have to make sure, it stays in process for the residents, so we're just not.
That I have no problem. You're more than welcome to inquire about that. Thank you. Another question?
Yeah, just for clarification, I guess what I've noticed in the past in relationship to these grants and such is that, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, it still will appear on a bills list. It still will show up, for instance, through Calumet Plumbing, for example, who is a vendor of the city, who works on some of these main breaks. So if one was to simply look at the bills list, then they could see how much of this $500,000 has been used, and therefore be able to determine how much is left or not left, simply by looking at the bills list. That's kind of the record that we keep of money spent. Am I right or wrong?
You are correct. You are correct. But if you wanted, wow, for an application, we got a lot of questions. Yes, Alderman Rogers.
Well, first of all, good evening, City of Harvey residents. And this is not an actual question. This is more of a statement.
Okay, we're in the debate stage right now. It's just a question.
Okay, but it's in regards to water main breaks.
Okay, form it into question.
Okay, the water main breaks, I had 2 in my ward, and they occurred one the first day and one the second day, and they cost over $100,000 to fix, repair one, because we had to wait for ComEd to come out and deliver a pole. Okay, and the other one we had to go under a garage. So what I wanted to say was that Rick mentioned anywhere from 25 to 45 years. Most of the infrastructure is over 100 years old. And when they put it in 100 years ago, it could not handle the amount of water, like the big torrential rain we had right now. Okay, so that was my question.
Okay, and again, but this is, as far as the debate, it's a question inquiring. There are ways to determine, but we're already completed with the questions. We've already went around twice. So all I'm seeking right now, all I'm asking is for council approval to apply for the grant. This does not mean we're gonna get the 500,000. It does not mean that we're gonna get 400,000. It's just an application to apply for the grant. So we have a motion and we have a second. Please vote.
Although not noted on the screen, Mayor Jones did vote yes.
It's all in favor. Okay, thank you. Okay, the next resolution, again, I'm sorry, what? Oh, yes, resolution number, thank you.
That is resolution number 4021.
Okay, the next resolution we're seeking is approval of resolution authorizing the city to enter into a central management service, it's a CMS, CY 2026-2027 joint purchase of a master contract for rock salt. This resolution authorized the mayor and the public works superintendent to enter into a CMS CY 2026-CY 2027 salt rock contract joint participation agreement on behalf of the city of Harvey. We are going into March. We're into March, we're going into April. Do we need the salt now? Absolutely not. But we're going to need the salt in November and December of 2026 and leading into January. We're not waiting to the last minute. A lot of times on the news you hear the last minute of people running around looking for salt. We want to make sure that we're prepared, and that is why I'm seeking council approval that we could enter into agreement to get the salt contract for next winter. We got a motion and we got a second. Very good.
We have a motion by the first and a second by the sixth.
Okay, is there any questions or debates?
Yes.
Madam Chairman, I keep calling you that, Chairman, whatever. I gotcha. Teasing over here. Alderperson Chapman.
Thank you, Mayor. About how much rock salt does the city of Harvey currently have in its inventory? And the reason for asking is we annually purchase this. And with us not having a very inclement weatherized, winter as last year, I would think that we'd still be able to purchase this, but maybe a lesser amount. Because I didn't see the detail of the cost here within the package. So just trying to identify how do we cut costs? And since we're earlier on in purchasing this, if we know how much we have, and maybe Rick, you could answer, Mr. Seth, pardon me, you could answer that, how much do we currently have on hand that we could cut into what we're currently about to purchase, which doesn't give like a pound or a weight or,
Actually, I can answer that. Sure. My first week here, we had another snowstorm coming in, and our superintendent of the street department was on vacation, and we had no more salt left. So we had to buy extra salt. And it took us probably about 2 days because everyone was purchasing salt. So out of that, may I ask you how much salt we have left?
We have about 250 tons of salt. But we pay such a low rate. If we get this signed and sealed and sent over state, we don't pay. Well, and I can get this to the mayor, once we get this, they give us our rate, and it's lower than some of the surrounding communities. So this is just to lock in the low rate for us. We usually go around 1,400 to 1,600 tons of salt a year. But we pay so much less, it's just better to have because this year there was a shortage. So I'd rather have it than not have it. So it's not, this is paid for motor fuel tax. So this is not coming, out of everyday funds. It's part of what we have motor fuel tax for, is for rock salt, asphalt. So it's really not it's not a budget crunch and pay for the city. You know, it's already in our budget through, I'm going to things.
Right, so it's not coming out of the general funds, it is coming from the funds that we've already allocated for. Now, you mentioned that we normally get 1,400, and now we have 250, so given weekend, a snowstorm, how long would that last you?
It all depends. I mean, we've had more issues this year with freezing. You know, our previous problem was it would snow, then it get warm, and then it would be freezing cold. And, you know, the ice melt that we use is, you know, it has to be sun, it has to be driven out, so there's a lot of different
variables, and especially with the water main breaks, then you have to add more salt to that. Okay, any other questions or debates? Hearing none? Vote.
Motion carried.
Thank you. May we have
Ordinance number 4022.
4022. All right, very good. Okay, now we're gonna go with comments. I'm gonna pass this to, she has her own mic, to Madam Clerk for comments. Thank you.
Okay. The first person is Ryan Swinsky. Followed by Glennis James Blackfoot.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan. I just had a few comments. I really believe we should be having our public comment before the voting, as this is not totally pointless, but I mean, we're not able to give any feedback on what you're voting on. So I think that order seems to, you know, I think it should be changed. Also, I have been advocating for the aldermen to vote no on all of these ordinances until the books are open to the public and our essential workers are rehired. You're asking our firefighters and police regularly to rely on the sheriff, and especially the firefighters. I mean, the level of disrespect that you're giving, all of you, council, especially the mayor, to neighboring towns is immense, and they will never complain. These guys are and girls are the best of the best. You'll never hear them complain. They will give their life to save you from a burning building. But behind closed doors, they're really pissed because they're tired. Dalton, South Holland, Phoenix, Riverdale, all these other towns, even Tinley Park, they're fighting our fires for us. That's not right. You need to cut your salaries and rehire these essential workers. The CDBG grant, I said, why would I say no to that? What did you do with the past CDBG funds? You got grants for fire hydrants? We got a few installed, but you've gotten several of those grants the past few years. Where did the money go? Did somebody buy some houses in Florida with them? Or, you know, I mean, where'd they go? They certainly didn't go to Harvey, because the city looks like crap. The salt. I'm so glad that my alderwoman spoke up. She asked the right question. What happened to the money used for last year's salt? We got money for it to buy a whole bunch of salt. So where did the money go? Again, was someone going to a strip club or something with it? Or did they actually buy the salt? Oh, we wouldn't know because the books aren't open to the public. We don't see any receipts or invoices or anything. Oh, see, that's why we need those books open. This new mayor, this is your chance. A new day, a new day. Also, regarding the Illinois law, as far as the appointment of the clerk, I submitted a FOIA request. The city said there was no resignation letter handed in by the former clerk. And Illinois law says that resignation should be in writing. So my question is, we need to legally clarify. Is that resignation legal? And is the new clerk legally appointed? That cannot be verbal. And if I FOIA the city and they say there's no letter, that's a problem. I want to end with, there was supposedly an alleged murder at 157-15 Willard in the mayor's own ward, March 4th this week. I'm told by an anonymous source the victim was a 50-year-old black male. The suspect was in red, black, or Latino male, and then the next day there were 40 plus shots fired nearby in retaliation. So are you gonna like solve that? Are you gonna tell us about it? I mean, you pay taxes, right? I pay a lot of property taxes. Are you gonna actually solve the crimes? So, you know, let us know what's going on with that.
Next is Glennis Jean Watson, followed by John Black.
Good evening. My name is Glennis James Watson. I'm a resident of the First Ward. Rod Blagojevich, Michael Madigan, Betty Lorraine Maltese, Edward Burke, Rita Cronwell, Donald Luster. What do these names have in common? They are all state, Cook County, Chicago, or other municipality elected official government officials who were either indicted or convicted of criminal activity while in the course of doing official government business. Per IllinoisPolicy.org, Illinois is the second most corrupt state in the nation, according to the research by the University of Illinois, Chicago. Unfortunately, the Southland, which includes Harvey, is not exempt from corrupt politicians and ancillary public officials. Recently, the Harvey World Herald published stories about local elected officials who are or have been investigated, indicted, and or convicted of unethical or downright criminal activity. Despite recorded malfeasance, some Harvey elected officials brazenly continue to run for office. And what I find mind-blowing is often they win. They get reelected. Residents of the city of Harvey, we expect and we deserve high moral and ethical behavior from all of our elected officials, but especially our local elected officials, because they act as stewards of our public trust, they manage our community resources, and they set societal standards. When elected officials fall short ethically and morally, they betray the trust we bestowed in them when we vote. I was very disappointed in our interim mayor's comments after the last council meeting. Per Channel 2 News, you can look this up, she said, they quoted her as saying, acting Mayor Shirley Drewinski defended her tie-breaking vote to appoint Janet Rogers as Harvey City Clerk, dismissing concerns over Rogers' past felony convictions by stating, the past is the past, because it was expunged. Drewinski affirmed that she has no concerns regarding Rogers' fitness for the role, emphasizing we need to fill the position. First, expunged does not mean exonerated. Second, there were other candidates without such a background that could have filled the position. And herein lies the problem with electing people with questionable ethics. If they will devise schemes and cut corners in one area, why wouldn't they do the same in other areas? If they are openly blatant about their misconduct in public, what can they devise to do behind closed doors? We don't have to put up with this. We deserve better representation. This can only happen if good people run for office and good people vote for good people. Amen.
Next is John Black, followed by Michael S. Rome.
Good afternoon, City Council. I'm Mary H. Shakur. I'm speaking for John Black. I wanted to welcome the new interim mayor into her new position. I'm probably one of the biggest advocates for the City Council that you would ever want to meet. I do want to start by asking one question. Ms. Drewinski, one of your first official duties was you and a few selected aldermen stood outside of the development for Charlington Homes. In that development, there was a press conference and memo press was there. Not a lot of members of the community and some of the members of the City Council were missing. I felt a little bit motivated, and today I visited that development because I thought that maybe I could spend $200,000 on a home in one of the worst areas of Harvey with no infrastructure, no sewage, no anything, but we're building and developing in Harvey. So I wanted to talk to someone over there, and I was went down to the office on Dixie Highway, 18141, and what it was actually a day office, and it was an abandoned day office.
And so Turlington Homes is being run out of an abandoned day office. And we gave this developer millions and millions of dollars in city funds to develop. I'm just questioning, did we vet this person correctly? Did we do the due diligence and investigate these developers before we did a press conference announcing our partnership with the city of Harvey with this developer? Did we even vet and check the criminal history of John Gruff and some of the other folks who were involved in this campaign? I think it's a bad look for the city council, especially the new interim mayor, to be standing in front of a project that wasn't properly researched or vetted. So I'm hoping that going forward that you guys can do your due diligence, really check these people out, and then prior to now, I think that pretty much you owe the community an explanation as far as who the developer is, why did they not meet with the public? Why is it that even when they didn't meet with the public, how did they get the contracts? Who signed the contracts? How much money were they getting? Have these questions been answered? I'll yield. I got 40 seconds. I'll yield. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna yield 35 seconds. Look, we need answers. We don't need me speaking. I can't answer.
Right.
They can't.
Any answers? Any answers? No answers? Anything?
So community,
Nothing?
when we change Harvey is when we change the leadership. The folks here need to have a vetted interest in this community, and they haven't shown us that they're doing that. Now I see 2 aldermen who have shown us that, and they need to be the leadership of the future. But I would appreciate it that if the next week that you can answer that question.
Michael Brown, followed by Reverend King.
Good evening, everybody. I live in the 6th Ward. I would like to explain, I would like some explanation on this program that we're getting on the Broadway pre-production program out here on Broadway. I think all of us here at one time or another have driven up Broadway, and we don't see where Broadway needs to be refit. We think we've got other streets around this town that need to be refit. There is a grant that is being escalated for $3.7 million. Are you telling me that in the last meeting that we had at Thornton High School, that the state will request 35% of that back for us to get the street done? I think they need to relook at that program. As a program it is, it can be reallocated, redesigned, and do other streets that need to be done around here. The only thing you're gonna do with Broadway is make it look better for the municipal building, the building at the end of the block over here, and possibly the next block over. We don't need fiber optic cable in the town. We don't, nobody here has fiber optic in the first place. Okay? Just take the way that it is. Nobody has fiber optic in this town. Everything is off the power lines for the cable. Next question, or the cameras that are being installed in the cities, or in the blocks. Who has the access to view them? Are they up and running at this point? We should have the right to know if they are up and running. How do we get access to them if we so want access to them? Besides calling the police at the last moment for that to happen. Okay? Over on Sibley, there is a viaduct. The Metro project is not completed over there. There's a knockdown fence and it needs to be replaced. Or stitched up there. Something to that effect. We're not getting any kind of results on this stuff. What we say is done is only halfway done. People, look at you got your own regular jobs. If you did half of the stuff that you do in your regular jobs, you wouldn't have them. So look at your city and look at the halfway jobs that are being done, and then think to yourself, okay, did we earn a paycheck for this? Did we get what we were supposed to get out of it? I don't think so. I think a lot of us deserve better than what we got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Reverend King Jr., I want to say hello to all the citizens of Harvey. Hello, get an answer back to me, don't be afraid. The buildings on Halsted Street must be secured by the city of Harvey. It's a disgrace, a total disgrace. They need to be boarded up, cleaned up, and everything else. I understand my own alderman said the last meeting that there was a place where it was called, I can't think of the name, it was a tavern or something like that, in a barbecue joint. He said that it's going to be cleaned up. Well, guess what? There's more trash in front of it. So I'm gonna just tell you that. The abandoned car wash on Halsted Street near Silly needs to be cleaned up. The two-story apartment building next to the drive-through place where they get their little short things for their drugs and stuff. That needs to be cleaned up off of 147th Street behind the chicken place. That two-story building has been firebombed by some drug people, and now you have what looks like Beirut. In fact, it looks like when I was in Vietnam. It looks like something like that, and that's right around the corner of my house. The building that has the children's, where they take care of the daycare center near Jefferson at 147th, a block away from the train station. There is a sidewalk about to fall on 147th Street, and the street department needs to get there right away. Right away. There's dumping that started already. We need to get the street department back in here. They need to hire every street department person you've got, and whatever you have to do, get the street department at 150%, because we have to be ahead on the trash. We have to be ahead on the tall weeds. We have to be ahead on the tire dumping. We have to be ahead on all those kinds of things. If you want to make money on permits and stuff like that, you can be ahead by following these trucks. These trucks right into Harvey, dumping from their construction that they do. They're turning us into a disgrace. I haven't seen prostitutes on 140 on Halsted Street anymore. And I'm glad the gentleman who came in here that day and shaded me instead made some statements about me. And I told him, and God bless the mirror, I told him I was going to sue him, and I was going to sue this guy, named Jedediah Brown, and I'll say it like Jedediah Brown. Keep him out of the city of Harvey because he's poison. He is poison, poison, poison. You want our city to grow. You want us to come together. You want us to work together. And finally, I'll say I'm so happy because I had 2 comments on here about the treasurer. And I see the treasurer was given an report. And I thank you for that, Mayor. I thank you that you allowed that treasurer to speak and give a report. It's about time. Now, our government is more open from what we're doing. Thank you very much.
All right, we have a lot of comments here. Is there any more? All right, we have a lot of comments, and I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna do something controversial. I'm gonna respond to a few of them. Now, I could not respond while you were up there, because it would have been a debate and we would have been here a very long time. As far as public comments, they should go before the time we voted. Back in 2025, when I was mayor pro tem, I attempted to do that. And everyone said, no, we didn't get the council approval. The council approved it, they liked it this way. But I did give it a time. And I did try to put the comments beforehand. Secondly, the corruption in Illinois. Absolutely there was corruption. And I'm confident there is. I am confident there is. But when we talk about people's background, whether it was expunged or whether it's no longer on the record, we all have things in our background. And if we don't, then let me ask you this. How many people think that the senator should run again? How about the senator, congressman? Once the records, you can have a record in the state of Illinois and not apply and not be disqualified to run for office. You can have it expunged. You can have it removed from your record. But I am going to tell you that What I will stand by my decision with this clerk. This clerk has shown that she has been I'm a board member of District 510 and 152. There has been no foul play on that. We're talking about the Turley Home projects. The Turley Home, that was interesting. I wrote that down. The day office is not there. I will look into that. We talk about the grant. How come we're not using the Broadway project? We cannot pick and choose grant money. They will allocate grant money for this particular street. And that is what we have to use if we choose to apply for that grant. We don't have to apply for it. We don't apply for it, nothing will happen in Harvey. They determine what the grant is for and we go after it. Same thing like when we did anything in the city with grants. They give us a guideline, we have to use it for that amount of money. The buildings on Halsted, we have to board them up. We do know we're at a deficit here, right? We do know we do not have the money. We talk about the fire department, we talk about the police department, we talk about the street department, we talk about the water department. I am telling you, we're bringing people back slowly. We have a targeted date. I brought back one fireman, one police officer, one public works. We partnered up with municipalities around here, talked about the dumping in the high grass. Markham has volunteered their trucks to come into Harvey starting tomorrow and picking up the dump spots in each of the ward. Rick, how many spots do we have?
Over 38.
Over 38 dumping. Now, I'm gonna ask you, how many of you saw people dumping? They went in and cleaned. Thank you. Thank you for.
I called the police right away.
Thank you. You called the police right away. Take a picture of the license plates. Because we have a problem does not necessarily mean.
They say they have.
Okay. Okay, well, that's not necessary. But bottom line, you take a picture of them dumping with the video, and if the police won't take it, come to the city and I'll take a look at it. And I will get the chief over there to take a look at it. Because we are in this together. It is so easy to sit there and say, well, you know, the chicken place needs to be cleaned up. The chicken place was cleaned up last week. Am I correct? When you had told me, we got it cleaned up. Well, it's messed up again. Well, is that our fault? Is that your fault? In the first ward, I put garbage cans around. We have garbage cans, and that's it. You know, we are in this together. Yes, everyone has a right to be disappointed. But there is not a person here. Somebody said, well, you know, if you did what you did here in your full-time job, I take offense to that. Because I put my heart and soul in this job. This is a part-time position. I am not here part-time. Our staff people are working so short-handed. They're doubling up. We have our seniors standing in line here, more understanding and trying to work with all of us. We have extended the vehicle stickers for until April 15th because we understand the lines. We understand we're short-handed. We're not some cold, malicious people here trying to make a dime off of you. We are all in this together. I pay my taxes just the way you pay your taxes. But unfortunately, we do not have everyone here paying taxes. And we have to work together. So I'm not going to sit back and have a bunch of people say, you know, what we're not doing, what we are doing. We talk about the cameras. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say, okay, world, here's the cameras. Everyone can look. Criminals, look and see if you see your license plates. Switch your license plates. Now, come on. Open up the books. Pardon me, open up the books. People say open up the books. I'm going to ask you, What government opens up their books to the residents?
All of them.
All of them. Been hearing.
Joliet.
Now let me ask you something.
Joliet.
Do they open it up to every single person at every time?
Yes.
Because we wouldn't have the manpower.
Put it
They
online.
put it on the website. Is our financial statement, is our audit on the website? Yes, they are.
Not all.
Our audits are on the website. Everything that you need to know, open up the books. Well, the books are open.
The bills.
The books are open. Just look for them.
No.
We are in the process of doing our audit. I just signed the contract. As of, to start the next audit process. But there is not a person here that is not doing their best. Most of you guys know I retired from South Suburban College 3 years ago. I've been here since February 1st, practically every single day. Your aldermen have been meeting with me, and I am so excited. I ask you, you have issues, go to your aldermen. They know they can come to me. They know they can bring their concerns to me. They know they can call me on a Friday night if they have an issue. And I respond to them. And finally, the cameras, you know what's really disappointing? Those cameras are very, very expensive. Those cameras are safety nets, not spying nets. Hey, I'll tell you what, you can come and look at my house every time. I have nothing to hide. So, I'm not worried about a camera on my house. But you know what's happening with these cameras? Our residents are shooting them out. Now, we laugh, but it's sad. They're shooting them out. Your neighbors are shooting out those cameras. That's your safety. Our police department has an automatic crime center. And we're going to be showing it in the public once we get it all run and operating 100%. Our aldermen went to go see that crime center, and it's phenomenal. So people are not sitting back and saying, okay, you're all by yourself. You got a phenomenal team here. And we are trying to do our best. So I know it was a simple meeting. I promise you, I got a few more things and then I'll forego my meeting. We're working with our community. We got Markham coming in with 3 trucks. Our guys are going to go pick up 38 dump sites. Now remember, they just did this in the fall. This is our people. We're people coming into our town and dumping in your yard. So, we got to keep our eyes open. Spring cleaning. We all been doing this for the last 7 years. Twice a year. It comes out in April and it comes out in October. First ward, once again, is the day after Easter. I've been complaining about that, but it's April 6th to April 9th. The first and the third ward. The second ward is April 20th to the 23rd. The fifth ward is from April 13th to the 16th. You are to put your property, your items in front of your house, correct? And the reason being, explain the reason.
The reason being is that we're trying not to have people drive up and down the streets dumping their garbage from other communities, other towns, contractors. So we're trying to have it in a way where it's quick, easy, clean up, and there's not excessive, people aren't excessive dumping debris from their house or their business or their company, in the city.
So this way, it goes in front of your house because the chances of anyone from South Holland coming over and dumping is less likely to be in front of your house. So they are coming to your house and they're gonna go down. Now, if you happen to live on the first ward, I'm sorry, but all your stuff has to be out on April 6th. You cannot put it out on April 7th and say, well, they didn't pick it up. They might have picked it up on the 6th and you didn't have yours out, and it's going to stay there. So make sure you get it out on your date. This will be, not that one. This one will be on the website. So you can see it, and we will make flyers here. So the first ward, April 6th through the 9th, 1st and 3rd, 2nd and 4th, the 20th to the 23rd, 5th and 6th, the 13th to the 16th. You can put your stuff out, acceptable as furniture, seats, toilets, tires, ribs, building material, scrap, and cedar blocks. We are not taking any hazardous material. We don't have the equipment for that. All right, Alderman, we've been working very diligently. If you need to make an appointment, you can make it weekly, you can make it bi-weekly. I am here. And please call Ramona to get a schedule. Residents, please get your alderman's name and phone number. If you don't know, you can find it on the website. We have everything with all the elected officials and their ward number. Please reach out to them. I think we're also making our website a little bit more user-friendly. We're gonna make it where you can actually see it. I don't know if you've been on the website, sometimes it gets a little confusing, but we are definitely working on that. So as you can see, in the last 2-3 weeks, we have been doing a lot. I have been definitely in communication with the people in the state. This week, hopefully, it will materialize. I will have a meeting with the governor's office. So people are interested in you. People want to help out. So thank you, and I am going to go with Alderman Keys. If you'd like to start the Alderman comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I hope y'all enjoying this nice weather because it's supposed to snow tomorrow. Just kidding, but you've been living out here long enough, you're not gonna never be surprised. I want to first off appreciate, Mayor Shirley for just taking the time out, to meet with me. I called her numerous times. She's answered the phone. I asked to meet with her. She met with me. I gave her suggestions or agreements she listened to. And for the first time, just like being in this alderman position, I'm an elected official. I'm a lifelong resident, and more important than anything, I'm a father to my children. So in the words of Reverend Jesse Jackson, I'm sorry, I am somebody, not a nobody. And I felt that way for a nice little while. And I hope this relationship continues because I only have the best intentions, for the city. And I speak for my residents. And so, like I said always, it's never telling what's gonna come out my mouth because I have my residents that come to me every day and say things, and I have the spirit of residents that are not here. So please forgive me if I'm not open-worded enough. With that being said, springtime is the best time to get a fresh start, especially when it comes to our trees, our bushes that are growing and protruding through the alleys, preventing people from blocking them down before the leaves even start growing, to start cutting them down first. And then we could put some of this rock salt we got down there on the ground, on the root, or whatever can prevent them from growing up. You'll be surprised how we can just start getting the city slowly together by, jumping ahead and planning on that. But I'm just looking forward. I appreciate being listened to. I'm still gonna be a team player. I love my residents, I love my job, as long as I have it. If not, I still love the city of Harvey. And we need to get our essential workers back as soon as possible, especially since it's the springtime. It's the best time to really start trying some things done and at least get ourselves ahead of the game as much as we can instead of waiting and then when things happen. But with that being said, love you guys. I'm looking forward. I'm very excited. I want to continue to do my job and hold me accountable, and I hold the people that's over me accountable also. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, residents of the Second Ward in the city of Harvey. I first want to start off by wishing all the women in the room a happy International Women's Day, as well as happy Women's History Month. Everybody's here because of you. It all starts with a woman. No shades from men. Y'all know. If you hadn't, the Second Ward interns, they had passed out a community meeting that we're having Wednesday, March 18th, 6 p.m. to 8. All are invited at 15446 South Lexington. And tell a friend and tell a friend. I want to briefly address the financial condition of our city and the responsibility we carry as stewards of public resources. Over the past several meetings, this council has reviewed the January 26th, February 9th, and February 23rd bills list, representing over $8.7 million in expenditures. When examining those numbers, it becomes clear that we must begin having a serious conversation about how we prioritize spending in the city of Harvey. Essential spending is what keeps our city operating. That includes employee payroll and benefits, police and fire services, sanitation, utilities, infrastructure maintenance, and the legal obligations the city must meet. These are the services residents depend on every single day. When I reviewed the bills list, we saw expenditures that require additional review or clarification, and that entails a stronger financial oversight and clear reporting are necessary moving forward. I think it was over about, on just the January 26 bills list alone, $2.5 million that was clearly identified as essential spending, while more than $3.4 million required further review or clarification. So we may be putting more in non-essential than we are in essential. And essentially, that doesn't work. When numbers like that appear in our bills list, it underscores why the city of Harvey must be disciplined in how we manage public dollars. I want to also address tonight's vote. Although I voted in favor of tonight's resolution, my vote should not be interpreted as an agreement that our financial condition does not require deeper transparency and planning. My vote reflects the need to keep the city moving forward while recognizing that we urgently need a clear financial stabilization plan and consistent financial reporting to the council and to the residents of Harvey. Our most recent audit also identified several areas where documentation and financial records were incomplete or missing. I urge that going into the 22, 23, 24, 25 audit that we provide all the records necessary so Kaspersky, the public accountants to complete our audits, have full access to give best financial reporting to the residents. And oftentimes you may hear me raise the questions, but these are just certainly concerns. It's, when we sit in this seat, we make decisions for the city, but it's very important that questions are being asked. There are no dumb questions. So I want to urge everyone to continue to ask the questions, and hopefully we can meet the demand and bring results. Thank you.
Randall.
Thank you. First of all, I want to appreciate everyone for coming out. Definitely want to just say thank you to all of our staff, to all the persons here for the work that they do. So, Mayor, I appreciate you very much. And again, I'm going to echo some things. I'm going to try to talk a little bit fast because, we have 3 minutes. First of all, I do appreciate everyone for being here. Every single comment, every single question is exactly as Alderwoman Kobe said, it's very much so needed. I also want to point your attention to what I would say a lot of people know, but are not using. It's called the internet. That website is a way that you can communicate with us. You only see us and have this time, I'm not saying when you see us, I see a lot of people outside of it, but to just use this time to communicate your concerns, your questions, that's not the effective way to do that, in my opinion. Please, call me. I don't care what ward you live in. I don't think any of us do. We care about you getting the questions answered, okay? There's a phone number on there, there's an email on there. I have cards with me presently. I don't know if we need to put a card dock out there, maybe with all of our cards on there, but we have to communicate. I don't understand, and I know I would not, when I know I can do otherwise, wait until a meeting to have these questions. I would not wait that way. I'm not that type of individual. If I have a question and there's a way for me to get to the answer, I want to get it. Okay? And I know for myself and what I've experienced here, we all have a pretty much an open door policy. Please use that, you all. I know I don't want to have nothing from you. That's not the goal. And I definitely don't want you to come into this meeting and make that be the appearance that that's what's going on. I say test me and find out. We're not here to hide anything. Secondly, we are getting where we need to go. Now, as far as I know, in the procedures that take place in the state of Illinois, audits are conducted by independent individuals. There are only a list of individual companies that can perform these type of audits. And I'm saying this because I've addressed this privately with a couple residents. We do not have a relationship with the individuals who audit the city of Harvey. They are not our friends, they're not our family members. They're not trying to look out for us. So when you open up that audit, that is actually the city of Harvey opening up whatever you consider to be the books. Now, when I say we're getting where you want us to go, we're catching up to the year. Now, it's not our fault that we started so way back in the day, trying to get up here. But can you at least acknowledge that we're moving that way? I don't understand. Last thing, just please, Council, no offense. So please use that resource. Contact us. I want to answer your questions. I know they do too, so that we can continue to move forward in a positive direction. Amen. Thank you. I ain't about that. Hold on. Let me say something negative for you. Already bad race to live.
Alderwoman Delaney Smith. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for all coming. I have a lot of stuff to cover. I'm trying to get it all in these 3 minutes. So, fire department. We all want our fire department to be employed here because we do have other cities we have relationships with, thank goodness, so they can help us. There should have been a big powwow pushback when they was taking the mentions of the fire department. That's when we should have been having all the outcry about the fire departments, because any person who has worked 30 years, they need their pension. I don't stop working, 30 years retired, I need my money. So now we don't have money for them, so let's make sure we worry about that. Comments prior to, ask for comments prior to votes. Technically, our prior mayor used to always say, consult with your alderperson. They have a whole week to answer your questions about anything on the agenda. You can even tell that alderperson what it is you would like to know, and if you have concerns. If that alderperson can't explain how grants, pensions, property taxes, and government is run, you might want to do another selection, okay? You can also learn a lot by Google. If you Google up some things, you can learn from Google. You got a phone with you, Google it. Receipts, invoices. You have the same complainer over and over, deliberately requesting FOIAs to hustle the city they claim to be concerned about. $5,000 could help board up some buildings, clean up some dumping, because we all know, boards, if you don't know, boards cost like 20 plus a pop, and you know you need at least 10 of them to board up a house. Not to mention when somebody tears them down, you got to replace them again. Okay? Now, residents who is watching via, I need you guys to start coming out. Let people hear your voice. Stop letting these outsiders, when they're invited to come in and be your voice. They can't even talk in their own community. So why we need them to come here and talk for our community? Let's start with that. And The loft, there was a big request about that loft. Banks sit there for what, 10 years, a decade, didn't make a dime. I looked that up on property taxes, we made about 30,000 in taxes, they could pay for some things. But we want to complain about the church home. It's vacant houses over there, one on burnt, leaning over, we got vacant lots over there. So you put 16 houses over there, which each one giving about $5,000 possibly in taxes that could help put into the upkeep of the city. But we always complaining about that. It's not giving us any money. So I wanna know, you should be even grateful somebody wants to invest into our city, because all the negativity and all the backlash that you got, see that rule? Why would I want to invest in this community? We don't act like y'all do with crab mentality. People are watching. If I was investing that money, I wouldn't go over there, they not gonna spend no money. They're gonna fight. And so,
Would you be comfortable for the hearing? That's great.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and good evening, residents of Sixth Ward and the great city of Harvey. I'm going to be extremely brief. There's been some occurrences that have happened over in the Sixth Ward, and some that I am extremely proud of. The fact that Mr. Sedgwick mentioned 38 piles of trash and debris. I ride every day. And I ride through my ward every day, and I see them every day. And so I asked the question, wait a minute, I'm gonna back up just a minute. I like to first emphasize the fact that when I call this young lady, I don't care if it's Sunday night, or Monday night, or whatever night it is, Saturday night, she always answers, and I never ever get a voicemail, and if I do, she always returns my call. There's been an enormous amount of transparency that has occurred in just the past few weeks. I've had 3 extensive water main breaks, and the residents, they're complaining, and one was over by Cal Sag, and they're wondering, was it due to the torrential rain that we had Friday night, which everybody, I'm sure, is aware of, or is it due to the hydrant break? There was a hydrant break on Shore Drive. And I went over there and I talked with the residents, and one of them, I don't know which his name, Mr. Blair, but Mr. Blair's he called me at 12:30, 1 o'clock at night, and I was asleep, and he was just so apologetic when he saw me the next day and said, he said, Alderman, I'm sorry. I said, it's okay, that's what I'm here for. I love this job, I love this community, I ain't going nowhere. I could have moved years ago, but I'm 52 years on Harvey Avenue. And I ain't going nowhere until we bring the city back to the vibrancy that we once had. Our police department, our fire department, our street sanitation department, our water department, yes, they're short-handed. But when we were not short-handed, we had intergovernmental agreements with other municipalities, with Polson and Dixmoor, and we helped them. Now that we're in a little dire stress, it's only fair that they come by and help the city of Harvey. There was something else. Oh yeah, the water main breaks and the streets, street sanitation, they've been extremely helpful in getting a lot of this debris picked up in a manner that, and I talk to Mr. Sedgwick all the time, and we didn't have proper dump equipment, but we're working on that. Okay, this is a poverty-stricken community, and we're doing the best we can do. Now, we're all in this together. We are not Tinley Park. We are not Orland Park. We are not Winnetka, okay? So we have to act like what we are. Sometimes we have to dig into our pocket and do a little bit more, okay? And I realize everybody's a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. But please, work along with the city and the government. Everybody's here doing the best they can do. Thank you.
I've already gave my speech. I get a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Hey y'all, we might have a recap late tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna decide once I get home. Okay, we need to talk about this. I think I need to talk about it while it's fresh in my mind. See y'all later.